Bloomberg News had a stunning win this week, which I found just totally hilarious. Let's just go back here. Australia is a country, the one we love to hate, of course, all South Africans, and it's got some of the toughest anti-smoking laws in the world. Australia raised its tobacco taxes by 25% last year and says it'll become the first nation to ban the brand names entirely on the side of the cigarette packaging to deter smokers. Former Prime Minister Kevin Rudd, the guy who got beaten, last April pledged that the government would spend 85 million Aussie dollars on an anti-smoking advertising campaign with the innovative strategy, cigarettes are not cool. Now, let me tell you, if the Australians could do something really cool, it would be to toss a couple of games in the World Cup. But Bloomberg went a step further and discovered this fantastic thing called the Future Fund. Now, what's the Future Fund? It's a fund which was established in 2006, and its goal was to cover the pension costs of retiring parliamentarians, lawmakers, judges, and public servants. In other words, a retirement pension fund of all these senior government employees. So what did Bloomberg find? They did some ferreting around, and they discovered that this blessed Future Fund actually held stakes in 14 tobacco stocks, with effect of December 2010, worth 147.7 million Aussie dollars, including a substantial position in none other than British America Tobacco. Hypocrites. Okay, so at first glance, if you bring that conversation back here to South Africa, it appears that our Public Investment Corporation, the entity that looks after government employees' savings in this market, doesn't have a particularly significant position in the stock in its directly held 900 million rand portfolio. But I'm guessing that the chances are that it does own some of those shares in the funds, which it pushes out to those external asset managers. Now remember, anyone who held the old Remgro group company, the Rupert family empire, got British American Tobacco shares in the unbundling process of 2008. So I think this is an interesting question. If governments and politicians in particular are keen to get people to stop smoking, then why would the pension funds of government employees be invested in the same? Now people often ask me, why am I so negative about tobacco shares, and in particular British American Tobacco? It's a big cap stock. It's got a very good dividend track record. It's expanding in Asia. Their balance sheets are fit as a fiddle. The health of their customers, of course, is another and more tricky issue. The company nowadays does concede that cigarette smoking is a cause of serious and fatal diseases, but they're diversifying their product range, people say. So, for example, they've got this thing which is a smokeless tobacco product. People say, well, that sounds good. It's called snus or snus, which apparently is inserted between the gum and the upper lip, which allows the nicotine, tobacco extract, and flavors to be absorbed through the oral mucosa. How does that sound? Very tasty. Why would you give your savings to those guys to work with? Seriously.